We are on the season finale of Season 2 of Are You Afraid of the Dark. This one's called The Tale of Old Man Corcoran. Will it end with a bang or a whimper? Stay tuned to find out. We're also going to be saying goodbye to our two friends of the Midnight Society. Yes, this will be the last appearance of both David and Kristen. I mentioned before they were setting up Kristen, who's played by Rachel Blanchard, who will go on to play Cher in Clueless. Not the movie, that was Alicia Silverstone, but the Clueless TV series. She plays Cher. And she looks just like Alicia Silverstone, so. I remember seeing a few episodes of that series and being confused, because they use some of the people from the movie, but not the main character. I have no idea if it's good or not. But yeah, they're both leaving. I have no idea why. Kristen was being set up to be the main character of this Midnight Society. She was featured the most. She did the stories Tale of the Hungry Hounds, Prom Queen, Final Wish, Locker 22, and Frozen Ghost. And David was supposed to be her love interest, but they sort of dropped that as well. They just have no idea what to do with these Midnight Society kids. And David was more in the shadows, but he was still given 5 episodes as well. They told the story of Tell Lonely Ghost, Twisted Claw, Dark Dragon, Shiny Red Bicycle, and Hatchling. So goodbye to these two people. And this time Kiki is telling the story about 2 kids, Jack Harris and his younger brother Kenny. Her stories tend to deal with social justice, so in this case, it's 2 black kids that are moving into an upper class neighborhood, and most of their friends and bullies are white. And man, do we get some bad acting in this episode. Sorry, I have to comment on it. The one character, named Sissy Vernon, is attempting to play this bad boy, well, she's a girl, she's a tomboy, bad girl character, like she's from the hood or something, or she's from a gang. It makes no sense, and I had to laugh at the acting of this. She even tries to do like a little crip walk. Tell me if you're scared of her.
Sissy?
Just call me Vernon. Hope you don't scare easy.
What's there to be scared about? It's just a graveyard.
Oh, it gets better. It's crazy. They say he caught this kid stealing something from his shack.
Yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark can't really pull off the bully characters very well. They're good at doing the monsters and the special effects and makeup, but something about these kids acting like bullies, I don't know. Maybe it was the early 90s, but they just come off not scary at all. So as Sissy Vernon's strutting around, doing her limp walk with her flannel, she invites Jack and Kenny to go play hide-and-go-seek with them. This could be fun. I played hide-and-go-seek as a kid. In fact, I played it up until high school. At a school that was close to me after dark. You know, before every single school had a fence around it and it was locked. There was even a way you could climb up on the roof. But their hide-and-go-seek game is really disappointing. They played in this graveyard, and yet we don't ever really see them play the game. The person starts counting, then Kenny and Jack run off. And before this, Sissy tells them about the tale of Old Man Corcoran, who was the graveyard groundskeeper, and he would walk around as a ghost late at night to make sure nobody's trespassing on this graveyard. The set's also not very convincing. They obviously didn't film this on location. I don't know why they didn't just film this at a location more interesting, but I guess because of the story, it had to be at a gravesite. They couldn't get access to one. And the ghost of Old Man Corcoran, who we see, is not very scary. He looks like Groundskeeper Willie, or Old Man Marley from the Home Alone series. Old Man Corcoran has this harmonica that he uses, and Jack ends up stealing it and showing it to the kids, seeing if they're impressed. Now, the one good thing about this episode is the ending, and I think if I was watching this as a kid, I might have missed what they were trying to imply, since we see, as they're running from this ghost, that the kids keep popping up from these grave sites. They'll just be running past them, then Sissy will pop up, as if she was trying to bury herself alive in this grave and wave to them and say, hey, where are you going? Don't you want to continue playing hide-and-go-seek? So it seems like these kids are dead as well, along with the ghost of Old Man Corcoran. And that was a nice twist, and the way that it's done is very effective and creepy, since they're just kind of popping up randomly, being like, hey, come play with me, this shallow grave. Yeah, I'm good, actually. But man, we don't see any hide-and-go-seek. Like, someone starts counting, they all disperse, they find Old Man Corcoran, run around, steal his harmonica, and meet up with the group. Nowhere do we see anyone get tagged, or who's even good at the game, or any interesting hiding spots. And the main antagonist is underwhelming as well. We're just told that he's a ghost, we're told that these kids are a ghost, they don't even use the 90s translucent effects. So I think this is actually a bad way to end Season 2. I've been pretty impressed with Are You Afraid of the Dark at this point, but I think this might be my least favorite episode. It just seems unusually lazy for this series. One of the trivia I read before is that they were given the budget for the entire season up front, and they had to divvied up through the episodes, and it does seem like, same thing with episode 1, that towards the end of the season, they kind of start losing money. They don't have enough to finish these episodes. This happened with season 1 as well, which ended with the episode The Tale of the Pinball Wizard, which I enjoyed quite a bit, but seeing some interviews with GJ McHale, he mentioned that this was the hardest episode to do, and that they completely ran out of money in Tale of the Pinball Wizard, which is why it looks a bit janky at times. They filmed it inside this mall, then ran out of time, so they had to piece together this fantasy world that's also inside a mall. It doesn't exactly come together, but that episode was at least fun. You get to see people squirt monsters with super soakers, see them play pinball, run around this mall, tons of characters in costumes. They're cosplaying like it's the 1600s, but here in Tale of Old Man Corcoran, you don't really get anything outside of a slightly creepy ending. Yes, this might be a trend that we see in Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I think I'm going to give this episode a 3 out of 10. And we get some fun facts for this episode. At the end, it says one of the gravesites read Ron Oil as a reference to Ron Oliver, the director of this episode. I didn't catch that one. And the rest are just talking about what happens in every Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, which is kids who started this one started in other episodes as well. Because it's Canada, they don't have that many people. Well, I gave it a negative review, so let's read a positive review. This person gave it an 8 out of 10. Children shouldn't play with dead things. This isn't one of my favorite episodes, but it's a good one and that is worth a watch. What I like about this episode is how it takes your assumptions, but flips them upside down and shows that the real danger isn't what we're made to assume all this time. The only bad thing are the two protagonists come off a bit dumb sometimes. They certainly do, and they have no distinguishing features either. They both act kind of like doofuses. Usually it'll be like the older brother is the bully, the younger brother is the smarter one, or vice versa. Just felt like in some places an alarm bell should have gone off, especially the big brother, who in the last half really fell off the smart mobile, because it's supposed to be smartmobile. As he went to go into the house of Old Man Corcoran to get the harmonica, it's like saying you want to go into Leatherface's house. He then says something really stupid. If I die, it's his fault. I thought, no you dumb frack. If Jason or Leatherface cut you up, it's your own. Though that might be part of the morality of the story, showing that true courage is about doing what's right, not always venturing into dangerous places. Well, that's certainly a take, and the only positive review I could find, so there you go. But luckily our next episode gets us right back on track. It's episode 1 of season 3, The Tale of Midnight Ride. Made me think it was about an amusement park, but it's actually not. It's about Sleepy Hollow. And this one features outdoor locations, a large cast, also an older cast, so the acting is better, and a nice twist on the legend of the Headless Horseman, so check that one out when we review it in a week. And also check out our playlist for the other series that we've covered. We've done Monsters, Fear Itself, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Cowboy Bebop, Pet Shop of Horrors, and Black Mirror. Thanks a lot.